In this video series, I show how to create and score exam or quiz answer sheets using Paperscorer. These are bubble-filled sheets akin to the old Scantron system. Paperscorer has many options you can explore, but here I'm showing the simplest way to use it for in-class bubble fill assessments on paper. In this video, I show how to create answer sheets for a class of students I set up in Paperscorer in a previous video. I'll create answer sheets that have students' names on them, along with a code Paperscorer uses to identify and grade their individual work. In another video, I show how to create answer sheets that are generic and require students to fill in an identifier number. That may be a better option depending on the circumstances of your assessment. Let's get started. Now I have a class with student identifiers set up. I can generate answer sheets for multiple assessments, quizzes, or exams in this course using this class. You can see I've got 3 students here in a demonstrator class. Using the assessments link in the left-hand navigation menu, I'll jump over to the screen where I actually create the answer sheets. And I've got 2 examples here right now. So this is what it'll look like after you create them. In this case, I'm going to go to the Add Assessment button in the upper right, click it, and I have one option, so I'll select it. And I want to give my assessments as characteristic a name as possible so it's easy to identify them later on. Now, when I look down here, I've got several different options. These are quick links to 10 question, 15 question, and 25 question answer sheets. And you can add or take away questions from these. I'm just going to start with a blank template though, and I'll add as many questions as I want. So I'm going to make sure that's highlighted, and then I click the blue Save button. And it takes me to the blank answer sheet where I'm going to build the key. So in the upper right is the Add a Question button. Click that. I'm using the free account, so multiple choice is my only option, but that allows me to do a lot of things, of course, including true, false, and yes and no of a type or of a sort. I'm going to say, for now, I want 3 questions, but of course you can put as many questions as you want here. And then I'll click the blue Save button. And Paperscorer will populate this key with the 3 questions. If I decided subsequently that I wanted to add more questions, the Add a Question button is still here, and I can click it to add more questions to this sheet. Now, it's important to know that Paperscorer doesn't know nor care what the question stem or answer options actually are. That is the substance of your questions. All it needs is a letter for each question that's the correct answer. So presumably, as you fill out this key, you will have a copy of your exam at your elbow. Simply click and highlight the correct answer bubble for each question. And bear in mind that you can actually create multi-select questions with multiple correct answers. Paperscorer auto saves this key, so there's no save button. That's okay. So this is automatically saved. Now I want to print this answer sheet, a copy for each student that I'll actually pass out in class, and of course will not have the answers filled in, but will match this key. In the upper right, I see 3 vertical dots. That's a menu. Click it. And the option here is to print sheets. Click that. Now, 2 options here. Print individually scanned sheet. You want to read the subtitle here. Students will be required to bubble in their identifier. I cover the details of that in another video. In this case, we're going to choose print scan sheets for a class. Student information will be pre-filled on testing sheets. That is, their name will be printed on it, as will a code that Paperscorer reads when you scan and upload them with the student answers. Now, here I don't have a class selected, and I want to make sure I select the class that I need. And it will ask me, do you want to print for the entire class, in this case 3 students, or are you just printing for some specific students? Say it's a makeup quiz or something like that. I'll print for all 3 students. And then I'll click Generate Scanned Sheets. Now, this can be a little confusing. This doesn't actually give you the answer sheets. It generates them. And then I click Print Scan Sheets so that it allows me to download a copy of them And I'll go ahead and download a copy just to my desktop. And these are in PDF format. And as you can see, here are the question options that students will need to bubble in the correct answer, hopefully the correct answer. And the student's name is printed on the answer sheet. And if you scroll to the bottom, there are codes that Paperscorer uses to identify which assessment this is and which particular student this is. So I will print these out using my office printer copier, distribute them to students. They'll take the exam, and then I'll scan these back in and upload them to Paperscorer so it will grade the student work and supply me with their scores.